on, and a lot of my buddies in the senior class were being drafted into the Army. And a couple of us decided that we wanted to go to the Navy, but we were only 17 years old. And they wouldn't take us unless our father and mother would sign for us. So I went to the recruiting station with my folks, and the war was on full blast in '45, and my mom and dad signed for me, and then I left about 2 weeks later, and I was the only guy on that bus to go to Cleveland. And I'll tell you what, I was 17 and I had a tear in my eye. That was, other than the Boy Scout trips, that was the farthest and the most that I had ever been out of Ohio. And I went to Camp Perry, Virginia, to boot camp. It was an experience for me. I think I was a good boot. And then I was in OGU and went to a school for the USS Leyte, and that was in Newport, Rhode Island. And when I got out of Newport, Rhode Island, we went on a train from Newport, Rhode Island, right into the Newport News Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company, right beside this huge aircraft carrier who was still in a dry dock, and they were still working on it. Not commissioned yet. That was awesome to me, and I had turned 18 by that time. And to think that I was going to be able to serve on that ship, unbelievable. I didn't know what my duties were going to be, but right away they put me on the evaporator gang. I was in B division, and I was on there all spring, and we went on some little 1- and 2-day trips out into the Chesapeake Bay with the shipbuilders with their blueprints, and we would start pumps up and different engines and stuff and come back in. And anyhow, that went through that summer. The bomb was dropped. When that bomb was dropped, we didn't know the magnitude of that, you know. And then when the second one was dropped, we understood that these people can't go on and let this happen, you know. And there was supposed to be an invasion of Japan, and there was going to be like 500,000 casualties. Well, what a savior that was, that Harry Truman decided to go ahead and do that. But I had no girlfriend. I was still ready to go. And Japan surrenders, you know. And then I was only signed up for the duration in 6 months. So one morning they said, you're going to have to be ready at 10 o'clock to leave to go to get discharged. And I was just a plain fireman at that time. Didn't advance one bit other than out of boot camp. In fact, when they told me I was to be discharged, I went and saw the executive officer and asked him if I could go along on this next cruise and maybe get discharged when we come back. He says, well, there's only one way I can do that. And he showed a re-enlistment paper in front of me. He says, you can sign there. I says, well, I think I'll go home. And I went to Great Lakes and got discharged, but I joined the reserves and stayed 20 years in the reserves.